Yeah.
Well, you win the title for presentation.
Yeah.
Listen, I was like, well, I gotta start with a pun. If not, it's not.
I don't know about the presentation, but this wins, so you can stop now.
Actually, yeah, you're good.
All right, cool. Am I good to start whenever, or do it? All right, cool. And I really hope it's actually going to work. Okay, so hello, I'm Corbin Toner. This is a Corbin copia of my time at FA. So, it's me. I think Ralston's supposed to be here, but because I think that because I am a Key Club board member, and that's basically been one of the major parts of my time at FA. With Key Club, I have been able to really expand. Obviously, it's a very community-based thing, but it's been able for me to expand outside of just like classroom and whatnot, and it's given me a little bit of motivation. But along with that, I'm very unathletic. I bring that up because I tried to join the track team and then popped my knee out on the second day. So I haven't done much sports at FA, but even still, even just going those 2 days, it gave me a community to be part of, and that was something that was very helpful. This goes into my future, and to be honest, I'm not super sure, but my plan is to take a gap year because as of right now, I'm still trying to get my footing on gonna be out of the house and on my own, and I wanna give myself some time to adjust to that. But I would love to go to college, and in particular, I'd like to pursue anything in international relations, or really anything with public speaking, and I think that's one of the big things. That's when I get to my artifacts. Those are two of my very important things that I learned from FA, is that being able to publicly speak and to connect with people is one of the most important skills in my opinion. And so using my best two works, I don't know why it's so far off to the side, but using my Petra Kucha that I had to do for international relations, I had obviously done presentations before, but with the time limit and the requirement of having to structure everything in my head I ended up being kind of a rush, but at the same time, it allowed me to get away from just rambling and to actually like try to structure my thoughts a little bit better. And this isn't really public speaking, but for Cinema as Literature, we had to make a final project film, and you're okay to come in. Because of that, I had put it off until last minute, and it was a really rainy day, I wasn't able to get anyone to help me film, and so last minute I had put together this world where I was the only human being that existed, and there was a massive war going on, and so it was allowing for me to take away the limitation of being the only person in my film, and allowed me to make it into a positive, because I was able to kind of go with that and try to make a little bit of comedy out of it. I think I kind of covered a lot of this, but specifically, I think clear and effective communicator for my Petra Kucha was the big thing with that, and I don't remember what the other one was called, but the one about creative problem solving. But I put it up there. The creative and practical problem solver. Those two things, I think, because the big thing that I took is I had a really hard time finding things specifically in the classroom that I felt were like my amazing achievements. And so what I tried to think of was stuff that was outside of the classroom that I can use when I get out of school and go into work or just dealing with other people, things that I can use to get better at just that, because I'm obviously going to have to deal with that. That's a very big part of hopefully what I'll be doing after FA. Another big thing, as I said, these are the only two photos I could find of me at Key Club, so I have my induction, and then this is me at Bargain Barn. Key Club is really a really big thing because I wasn't super involved the first 2 years here at FA, but junior year, especially over the summer in Bargain Barn, I was having a really hard time, especially with COVID. My grades were dropping, and I was having a really hard time finding really any motivation, and being able to go somewhere and have friends there and even though it was a lot of goofing around, there was still a lot of work that was being done, and it helped me get back into the idea of like, okay, I have to live a life. I can't just like be sitting in my house all day. And so that was one of the big things, is that motivation. I think without that, I probably would have had a really hard time coming back junior year. So I was able to get back on the right footing with that. So my mentorship, I chose Mr. Levine. I can't say that I didn't do this very last minute. I had to interview him for journalism, and we ended up not having to write that biography, but talking to him, and because for a long time I've been thinking about teaching and getting into politics or anything dealing with history, like that's been a very big passion of mine. And for a lot of time, both of my parents, like they've been very supportive, but at the same time they've been like, well, you need to think about, when you're going into a career, like what's gonna get you money. And Mr. Levine was able to kind of give me that view of like, okay, it might be a little bit difficult, but it's definitely possible. And so having that insight definitely helped me, because I feel like I have kind of a general idea of what I wanna do now, compared to kind of just like telling people what I thought they might wanna hear from me. Because that was the thing, is that if I was having a hard time, I didn't really know what I was doing, so when people were like, well, you gotta find a college, you gotta apply, I was like, well, I'm gonna just say I wanna do this and it will work, and now that I kinda have like an actual structure, that was good. And so for the actual interview, I don't know why all of the slides are so off-centered, but yeah, he obviously is a teacher here at FA, and I did not know that he taught middle school before. I definitely could not see you as a middle school teacher, but it showed me that I definitely do not want to do that. If I want to get into teaching, it's going to be in high school. And also trying to turn me away from politics. I don't know if that's what you were trying to do, but it gave me an insight of, I really do not want to get into politics because from what it sounds like, it's very boring and a little slimy, and though that there's like the ability to do good, I think I don't really want to do that. And it did he gave me an idea of what it would take to get involved at the beginning, but it did absolutely turn me away from it. And I think that's about it. I really do not like ending slides. I think they're a terrible idea, but I have to put one in. So is there any questions?
Was slimy Mr. Levine's own words?
Yes, I think so.
Wait, what was that?
When you were describing your job at Susan Collins' office, you said it was slimy.
It's a little slimy.
Yeah.
It can be a
Boring and
little
slimy.
slimy. Yeah, well, I mean, I guess it all depends on your interpretation of what you're doing. To me, my interpretation was it was a little slimy. Yeah, so. But working for a politician isn't necessarily the easiest job to do.
I noticed you had an alter ego name in there. Where did that come from? The Great Corbini?
Oh, yeah. That, I think it was freshman year when we were doing, no, that would have been sophomore. One of the state tests that we had to do, they gave me my results, and they did not get my name right. They said that my name was Corbini Toner, and Mr. Danker said that sounded like a magician, and so the Great Corbini is what ended up sticking. Well done. Thank you.
I'm surprised for your Key Club thing, you didn't have your wedding photo there.
Oh, I asked Annie to send me pictures, and she sent me a bunch, and then I couldn't save them all, so I just got a few of them, and most of them weren't
Because
of me.
I want you to know, your wedding picture has now been shown at the Bangor Humane Society.
It has?
Oh, yes. From a member of the senior class, that's very dear to your heart.
Yeah, I'm sure.
She's the president, she's dear to your heart.
Yeah. Yeah, that definitely does not